Apathy with G. Craig Lewis. Day 2. Just read all of it. Okay, here we go. We're going to jump right into this. And just wow. Man, God is amazing. Leviticus 20:6 says, and the soul that turneth after such as familiar spirits and after wizards to go a-whoring after them, I will even set my face against that soul and will cut him off from among his people. God is very serious about familiar spirits, wizards, witches, all of that. Just using other powers other than him. He's very serious. Look at somebody and say, ancestral traditions. So, you always hear this, African traditional religion. So let me define that. The African traditional religion is the collective name given to a set of highly diverse beliefs which vary according to geography and ethnicity. Generally, these traditions are oral rather than written and include belief in a supreme creator, belief in spirits, veneration of the dead, and use of magic and traditional medicines. The role of humanity is generally seen as a bridge between natural and the supernatural. So over in Africa, I've been dealing with demons and dealing with the darkness, fighting darkness and all of that. And it didn't become more real to me than when I went to Africa. When I went to Africa and did the Truth Behind Hip Hop, it was like an explosion. I'm praying for people and they trying to levitate. We literally holding people down. Like that was some crazy stuff. I got friends that have done just seen stuff, people running in the room and running in the church and then just running up the wall. And just stuff. Because over there, because of the tradition that backs some of the stuff they do, they have tapped into different powers. And those powers there influence the entire world. I mentioned it last night that people go there when they want to really get enchantment. I know the Rolling Stones, when they had their song, Sympathy for the Devil, they did that, Sympathy for the Devil, they did that song, but they went all the way over there to get a percussionist to play because they knew when he plays, it's going to sound like more than two hands. And they wanted it authentic on that song so that song could conjure when it's played. D'Angelo did the same thing. I can't say God rest his soul. I wish I could. I don't know what happened, where D'Angelo is. But he got into that and he went to Haiti and performed the actual ritual and voodoo ceremony on the drums, cut a chicken open, poured the blood on his hands to do his voodoo album. That's how he got famous. So these folks know if you really want some working, like I talked about yesterday, you need melanin. You need dark skin because that is like, those are like living antennas. It's power that can reach, it's far reaching. And in the occult, they know that. Y'all still with me? Yes. Okay. All right. Yeah. Animist. So, animism is, it's the belief that things are gods or objects are gods or supernatural powers originate in material things. Animists believe that there are spirits in everything, in stones, trees, seeds, water, in people, whether they are dead or alive. They believe that these spirits control good and evil and can be petitioned to carry out actions in their lives and in the lives of others. To protect themselves against the spirit world or to barter with spirits, animists offer sacrifices designed to pacify or please. This might include a child or animal sacrifices or smaller actions such as tying a piece of hair around a tree to ensure a good supply of coconuts. These folks are very superstitious. Many wear fetish bracelets and charms, believing them to have magical properties to ward off harm. These are often tied around the wrist of small children within communities. There may be actions or sets of actions which are seen as taboos. And a taboo can be something as simple as washing your clothes on the wrong day, stepping on a crack, breaking your mama's back. An action believed to be, we had all of that. Growing up, all that stuff came from animists. Don't split that pole. You could be all the way to the other side, and whoever that was will go all the way back around that pole. So we don't split that pole. That's animists. They're believing that something will happen spiritually if you break rules or taboos. It's taboo to do that. That's why we say taboo. Y'all remember Sade, the sweetest taboo. That was some of y'all's jam. You didn't even know that originated with the animists. A taboo can be something as simple, and action believed to anger certain spirits. So split the pole, the pole gonna get mad. There's a spirit in the pole. Breaking a community taboo would risk bringing problems upon the whole community. As a result of this, many animists are full of fear. They are fearful of breaking community taboos and risking anger and ostracism, and fearful of spirits and the objects around them being displeased with them. They are often very concerned about their own ability to appease the spirit world. Many animists also worship the spirits of family members who have died. You let people go when they die because they're gone. Look at somebody and say, they're gone. I have recurring dreams. Even to this day, they're less frequent. But when my dad first died, I would dream that we were with him. And he would just be there. Like and I don't even want to ask him. I just be looking like, what you doing here? I thought you were gone. And then we just have fun or do something, whatever. And then I would hate to wake up because he'd be gone. But I never try to pull him back here. I enjoyed the dream. That happened to you with your dad? So I enjoyed the dream time. But man, that was a dream. Amen. I ain't waking up with a lock of his hair in my hand and one of his cufflinks. What? Freddy Krueger, I done pulled a cufflink back. We're not, look at somebody and say, we're not doing that. No, we don't do that. You let them be gone. Don't go to the graveyard and talk to them. That's necromancy. God forbids that. I promise you, if they don't answer, somebody in that graveyard is going home with you. You're going to be asleep and hear the tea kettle whistle. Somebody in there just boiling water. Leave them, like old folks say, leave them be. Amen. They had their time here, now it's your time. Amen. Black folks, we get superstitious and we just leave in the room the way it was and don't touch nothing in there. No. Amen. That's animist. So they, in the same way they seek to placate the spirits and the objects around them, they seek to please their ancestors, offering sacrifices, obeying rules, regulations, which have been passed down for generations. They often believe that if things are going wrong in their lives, it is because they haven't been diligent enough in their worship of their ancestors. The idea of ancestors punishing people for their behavior towards them is common. Therefore, times of trial might lead them to add new rules and rituals or spend more money on livestock or items to sacrifice to their ancestors. When things are going bad, y'all know when things are going bad, it's not always the devil. Yeah, we get superstitious. I might not have prayed enough. I might not have do this. Now, you need to pray, but man, you can't get into the meriting system. Because the meriting system, you won't make it in. We can't make it in on merit. We have to make it in on grace and mercy. Amen. Sometimes when you grew up real holiness, almost snake handling holiness, you think that everything bad is the devil. You done something. You should have done something. So you start looking at everything bad is not the devil. Amen. We need to quit giving the devil all that power and credit. Amen. You flunked your test. Ooh, Satan is real. Satan didn't have nothing to do with your test. You didn't study. When sacrifices fail and illnesses or difficulty remains, animists and ancestor worshipers believe that if they are not to blame, then someone in their family must have caused the ancestors to become angry. This generates much suspicion and blame within the families and communities. People search for culprits and look for answers to their troubles. Do you know that you can actually speak trouble by giving the devil credit for trouble? Yeah. All while I was toiling to do this message and sick and all this stuff coming up, whatever, I never gave the devil credit for it. It's 5G. It's radiation. Now, ultimately, Bill Gates is a devil. Bill Gates of hell. But I'm not going to just blame everything. Ooh, the devil. Ooh, the warfare. Ooh, the devil. Ooh, the... You can't do that because now you're giving credit to it and they're going to just turn it up. You got to speak victory. You got to speak victory. Can't keep giving the devil credit.